The growth of mass nationalism. The happening of 1922 to 1929. Mahatma Gandhi called off the non-cooperation movement. When the non-cooperation movement was over, Gandhi's followers stressed that Congress must undertake constructive work in the rural areas. Other leaders argued that parties should fight elections to the councils. In 1930, the civil disobedience movement was launched. The two important developments of the mid-1920s were the formation of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh, a Hindu organization, and the Communist Party of India. By the end of the decade, the Congress resolved to fight for Purna Swaraj in 1929 under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru. Consequently, Independence Day was observed on 26th January 1930 all over the country. In 1930, Gandhiji marched to break the salt law. According to this law, the state had a monopoly on the manufacture and sale of salt. The Salt March related the general desire of freedom to a specific grievance shared by everybody, and thus did not divide the rich and the poor. Gandhiji and his followers marched for over 240 miles from Sabarmati to the coastal town of Dandi, which is famously known as Dandi March, where they broke the government law by gathering natural salt found on the seashore and boiling seawater to produce salt. Peasants, tribals, and women participated in large numbers. The Government of India Act of 1935 prescribed provincial autonomy, and the government announced elections to the provincial legislatures in 1937. In September 1939, the Second World War broke out. Congress leaders were ready to support the British war effort, but in return, they demanded independence. The British refused to concede or accept the demand, and the Congress ministers resigned in protest. Do or Die, August 8, 1942. Mahatma Gandhi launched Quit India movement. Mahatma Gandhi initiated a new phase of movement against the British. He wanted the British to quit India immediately. To the people, he said, "Do or die in your effort to fight the British, but non-violently." The movement attracted peasants and the youth who gave up their studies to join the Quit India movement. In many areas, people set up their own government. The first response of the British was severe repression. The rebellion ultimately brought the Raj to its knees. In 1940, the Muslim League demanded independent state for Muslims. From the late 1930s, the League began viewing the Muslims as a separate nation from the Hindus. The provincial elections of 1937 convinced the League that Muslims were a minority and they would always have to play second fiddle in any democratic structure. The Congress rejection of the League's desire to form a joint Congress League government in the United Province in 1937 also annoyed the League. At the end of the war in 1945, the British opened negotiations between the Congress, the League, and themselves for the independence of India. In 1946, the elections to the provinces were held again. The League demanded for Pakistan. In March 1946, the British cabinet sent a 3-member mission to Delhi to examine and to suggest a suitable political framework for a free India. This mission suggested that India should remain united and constitute itself a loose confederation with some autonomy for Muslim majority areas. After the failure of the cabinet mission, the Muslim League decided on mass agitation for winning its Pakistan demand. It was announced 16th August 1946 as DA Day, Direct Action Day. By March 1947, violence spread to different parts of North India. Partition meant that India changed, many of its cities changed, and a new country, Pakistan, was born. Finally, on 15th of August 1947, India attained independence with painful hearts filled with partition. That's all we have in this video. Stay tuned and please subscribe. Thank you.